And welcome, sports fans, to today's roundtable. And we've got some games to get to coming down to the end of the basketball season here, as we're already in the state Final Four in Columbia for both classes 1, 2, and 3 for boys and girls basketball. So after today, the seasons for those classes will come to an end. But we do have some more games remaining for classes 4 and 5, which will resume today, which we'll get to those games taking place. So we're in the last week of high school basketball. Next weekend we'll wrap up the basketball season for 2013 and 2014. But we got some games that we're going to cover and bring to you for the next week here on YHC and online at cmosportzone.com. So a lot to look forward to in the next week here for high school basketball. And also, we're going to take, at the very end of our program, we're going to take a look at a very interesting video when it comes to ping pong. All you ping pong lovers out there probably appreciate this. Just a lighthearted video to just give a little change of pace here on the roundtable. And we're trying to work some guests in. We've been unable to do so over the last few weeks. Seems like these basketball coaches are enjoying their time off after the long season on the weekends, so we're going to try to get some of these basketball coaches to come in over the next few weeks to talk about their respective basketball seasons. And it's been very exciting coming down to the end here. Teams going for those state championships in Columbia. So we'll go over all these games that's taken place this week, and starting with the games that took place yesterday up in Columbia in the third place games. They had the semifinal games Thursday, and then the third place games yesterday, Friday. And in the Class 2 boys third place game, Canton defeated Thayer 61-54. So Thayer comes away with 2 losses and 4th place in that state Final Four in Columbia. And moving on to girls Class 3 third place game, Herman defeated Saxony Lutheran 68-53. Saxony Lutheran just had a tough way up there in Columbia this year, but got a really young team still there with the Saxony Lutheran Lady Crusaders. They'll probably be back in the mix once again next year and the year after. Very young team there with Saxony Lutheran, and just their first crack at it with the state Final Four in Columbia. Certainly going to be right back in the mix next year. And in the boys' Class 1 semifinals Thursday, Scott County Central advanced over Stanberry 69-63, and Scott County Central moves on to the state championship taking place today. So look forward to that later on today. We're going to talk about that matchup here right around 1 o'clock later on this afternoon. And Stanberry was the runner-up team in last year's Class 1 championship game against Eminence. And they go to the third place game that took place yesterday. But Scott County back in the state championship, going for their 17th. That's right, I said 17th state championship later on today. And they've won 16, and they've been to the, I don't know if it's the Final Four or if it's the state championship game 18 times. Just unreal mark there for the Scott County Central Braves in Class 1. So we'll talk about that matchup here in just a moment. And Sacred Heart defeated Thayer in the semifinal game that took Thayer to the third place game. Sacred Heart defeated them 62-39. Sacred Heart in that state championship game today against Iberia. And the girls' Class 3 semifinals where Saxony Lutheran lost to Eldorado Springs 60-38. Saxony Lutheran just struggled in that semifinal contest with Eldorado Springs. Also, going back to Wednesday night, the boys' Class 5 sectionals, Jackson advanced over Lafayette 65-60. Impressive victory for the Jackson Indians, getting that victory Wednesday night in those Class 5 sectionals. And they go back to the round they lost to last year, got a tough out in the quarterfinal game, and they will take on Christian Brothers College. We'll get to that in just a moment, but another impressive season for those Jackson Indians. Also, we've got Farmington over Cape Central 50-47, and we brought that game live to you Wednesday night from the Three Rivers College campus in Poplar Bluff. And Farmington, very deliberative in this game, played the very slow tempo style of game, and Cape Central went along with that slow tempo, got out to a good start in the first quarter, but pretty much the second quarter on, it was all Farmington. And Cape Central tried to pick up the pace early in the game, forced the turnovers, had a chance to go ahead in that game. It was a 49-47 game. A three-pointer by Andre Statham rimmed out. It went in and out, and a couple more attempts to tie it. Didn't go down. And one last chance with 50-47. Andre Statham went along the left side with a runner from three-point land and went off the right side. And Cape Central's season comes to an end, but an impressive season for those Cape Central Tigers, winning the district championship this year and bring back a very strong team next year. They'll be losing Jamal Cox, their big guy underneath, but they bring back their other big guy, Andre Statham, only a junior. Jalen Redden, one of their guards out front's a junior, and also Al Young, the breakout sophomore this year. They return those three players, and certainly will have a tough team once again next year. But an impressive season for the Cape Central Tigers, and Farmington moves on out to the quarterfinal round to play not necessarily on their home court, but right in their hometown of Farmington today at the Civic Center. We'll talk about that matchup a little later on as well. And the girls' Class 4 sectionals, that was the same night, Wednesday night, that we brought to you live here on YHC. It was Dexter over Park Hill Central, 59-42. Impressive victory for the Dexter Lady Bearcats. They advance on out to the Class 4 quarterfinals, and with a win later on tonight, they advance to the state Final Four in Columbia. And we're going to bring that game live to you tonight from Farmington. We'll talk about that matchup with Battle from Columbia a little later on. And that's pretty much the games from this week. And we're going to take a quick break and take a look at all the state tournament brackets remaining here in the state of Missouri. So don't go away. We'll be back with that coming up.
Welcome to NFL Total Access,
the show that takes you inside the locker room and down on the field. With inside access to all 32 teams all year long. NFL Total Access, Monday through Saturday, only on NFL Network.
NFL Network, where football season never ends.
I chose Three Rivers College. Caring staff made it easy to enroll. I'm receiving affordable, quality college classes. Day, evening, and online classes let me work college into my schedule.
With locations throughout Southeast Missouri and over 200 course offerings, including online courses, Three Rivers can help you earn a college or career technical degree.
I chose Three Rivers College. You should too.
Enroll today. Learn more at trcc.edu. Three Rivers College. Success starts here.
First Midwest Bank Gold Club offers special privileges for our friends who are age 50 or better and have combined deposits of $5,000. Members enjoy trips, cruises, seminars, and picnics along with free personalized bank services. Upcoming trips include Journey Through the Holy Land, Yellowstone in winter, Classic Ireland, and Hawaiian Paradise Cruise. Stop by any First Midwest Bank location to sign up for the Gold Club. It's absolutely free. First Midwest Bank, providing common sense financial solutions every day.
All right, let's take a look at the state tournaments for boys and girls basketball for the rest of the way here in not only Southeast Missouri, but across the state of Missouri. Taking a look first at the boys Class 1 state tournament, and as we see there, the semifinals, Scott County Central and Meadville advance to the state championship, and that game will take place today at the Mizzou Arena in Columbia at around 12:50. And we intend to bring that game live to you, as we mentioned in the previous segment. Scott County Central going for their 17th state championship today. It's just unreal to think that they're right up against 20 state championships, but they're going for their 17th today, and I believe it's going to be their 4th in 5 years, and maybe 5 and 6 years, no telling. But a great run for the Scott County Central Braves here in the last decade. It's just been unreal what they've been able to accomplish, but very hungry team. The Scott County Central Braves lost in the quarterfinal round last year to Eminence here in Dexter at the Bearcat Event Center, and Eminence went on to win that state championship. And what a run by Eminence last year. I think they won the their semifinal and final game by a total of, I think, 3 or 4 points at the most. 4 points at the most. Very impressive run by Eminence, but Scott County Central, very hungry team, you can tell, led by Lorantis Banks and all the players that are contributing. Very hungry team, and my bet's on the Scott County Central Braves today, pulling out that state championship in Columbia, and it's another great run by Scott County. And moving on to boys Class 2, Sacred Heart takes on Iberia today. And one thing that stands out about this, I can't say a whole lot about each team here, but Iberia, I look back on the state tournament in Class 2, and ever since their sectional round, this shows the quarterfinals, semifinals, and finals, but you go back even one round, they've won, including the semifinals, the 3 games leading up to this state championship game, they've won by a total of 6 points. It's been a very close game in each round of the tournament so far for Iberia. I think they won their sectional round by 1 point, and I think the quarterfinal round by 2 points, and I think the semifinal game by 3 points. And very close games Iberia's had throughout this Class 2 state tournament, and see if they've got any more magic to show today against Sacred Heart for that Class 2 state championship. Certainly would be an impressive run if Iberia could pull out that state championship, just barely getting by throughout the whole tournament. So very impressive story going in with Iberia in that Class 2 state championship. And moving on to the boys Class 3 state tournament, it's coming down to Barstow and Cardinal Ritter. And Barstow defeated Madison Prep, the defending state champions, and Cardinal Ritter advanced over Stafford. And Cardinal Ritter will go after another state championship. They've got quite a few in the vault as well. And Stafford defeated Madison Prep yesterday, and I was seeing on Facebook, Dennis Nail from Kennett put on very interesting fact that Stafford's coach is a Holcomb alumnus. He's a Holcomb alum, and I can't remember his name. It was something Wilson. I might have a Mike Wilson, maybe. I'm not sure. It's something Wilson, I know for sure. But he is a Holcomb native coaching at Stafford and got that win over Madison Prep in the 3rd place game. So a little local tidbit there. When it comes to that 3rd place game, Stratford over Madison Prep. And moving on to the boys Class 4 state tournament, we're still in the quarterfinal round as we see here. Farmington will take on Bayless, Grandview taking on Lafayette County, Normandy taking on Jeff City Helias, St. Francis Borgia over Republic, and just a handful of teams there that are very well known in the Class 4 across the state of Missouri. Normandy out of St. Louis, Jeff City, Jefferson City, Helias Catholic out of Jefferson City, very well-known program there. St. Francis Borgia out of Washington, Missouri, right around St. Louis, and Republic out of Southwest Missouri. And Republic, if I'm not mistaken, I think they won that state championship in Class 4 last year. I believe so. So they're the defending Class 4 state champions. So some very well-respected teams there in that Class 4 state tournament. As I mentioned, Farmington plays at the Farmington Civic Center today. It's not necessarily their home court. They still got a home court there at the high school that they compete at, but the Civic Center, they play, I believe, a lot of the Mineral Area Athletic Association, their conference up there, play a lot of tournaments there, and it's going to be right there in their front yard, playing there at Farmington at the Civic Center. And should have a very good crowd. There's no excuse to not have a good crowd, certainly for the Farmington Knights. Later on today, they'll take on Bayless. Don't have a whole lot to say about their team. But usually the teams out of that Class 3 and 4 don't necessarily travel well to that quarterfinal game. So Farmington will have the home court advantage, hometown advantage, that's for sure, when it comes to the fan base showing up at the Civic Center in Farmington later on today. And moving on to the Class 5 state tournament for the boys, Jackson right back in the quarterfinals this year, takes on Christian Brothers College. Very tough program there. I think they're rated in the top 5 in Class 5, and Jackson never made the top 10 in Class 5 this year, I don't believe. They may have cracked it there towards the end of the season, but Jackson, no team to sleep on. They're one of the best teams in the state in Class 5, and they're going to certainly go up against one of the best teams in Christian Brothers College later on today. In the other quarterfinal games, Lee Summit takes on Lee Summit West. Fort Zumwalt South takes on Hazelwood Central. And Columbia Hickman takes on Willard. Some big programs there. Columbia Hickman, Willard, Hazelwood Central. Also Lee Summit West in there quite a bit. But some very good teams there as well as Christian Brothers College. So some big programs left in that Class 5 state tournament as well. We'll see how Jackson fares later on today. And they will play Christian Brothers College at Northwest High School in St. Louis. And moving on to the girls Class 2 state tournament. Skyline takes on Crane later on today for that Class 2 state championship. And talking about moving on to Class 3, as we mentioned there, El Dorado Springs will take on Ash Grove for the championship today. Saxon Lutheran lost to Herman in the third place game, comes away with fourth place in Class 3 this year. And moving up to Class 4 girls state tournament, Dexter takes on Battle out of Columbia today. And Battle's, I believe, in their first year as a new school in Columbia. There's two schools there, Columbia Rockbridge and Columbia Hickman. They've added a third school with Battle, and Dexter takes them on tonight at 6 o'clock at the Farmington Civic Center in Farmington. And what interesting tidbit about this game, Battle has a losing record coming into this game, 12-15 on the year, and you certainly don't hardly ever see a team with a losing record make it out to the round of 8, the quarterfinal round. But that's just how it seems. That's just how the bracket works out there. And the only interesting thing about this game, or if you try to compare like similar opponents, Dexter faced Columbia Rockbridge earlier in the year, and they suffered a loss, I believe, around 12 points, if I'm not mistaken. I might be mistaken on that, looking back on that game with Columbia Rockbridge. But Battle lost to them 88-21. Lost to them by, I think, 67 points. And that's the only thing you can really compare with these two teams. The only similar opponent they had was Columbia Rockbridge. Dexter lost to them in the double digits, around 12. It may be more than that. I'm trying to think back on that game earlier this year. Lost to them in the double digits, and Battle really took a thumping against Columbia Rockbridge by 67 points. So that's the only thing you can really compare with these two teams. That's similar opponents. So Dexter, the heavy favorite in this contest. I'd be very surprised if the game was even close. But Dexter should run away with that quarterfinal game taking place in the Farmington Civic Center later on tonight. So Dexter has a good chance of moving on to the state Final Four in Columbia once again this year. And can we throw that up there real quick again, once again there, Caleb? As we see there, Notre Dame to Zion takes on Benton, and the winner of that game will advance on out to the semifinals to potentially play Dexter there. And the other quarterfinal games, Incarnate Word takes on Jeff City Helias. Incarnate Word, the favorite to win this year's Class 4 state tournament as they did last year, one of the top teams in the country, and only one loss on the season coming out of state. And also in the other quarterfinals, Marshfield takes on Republic, and those are the teams remaining. So Dexter likely to take on the winner of Notre Dame to Zion and Benton, and can't say a whole lot about those two teams. I think Benton's got a little bit better record there, but we'll see how that plays out in that quarterfinal round. And take a look at the games we're going to bring live to you today here on YHC and SeawolfSportsZone.com. We've got one this afternoon coming up shortly, and that's Scott County Central taking on Meadville, and that game's at 12:50, right around 12:50. today. We're going to bring that one live to you right here on YHC Channel 21 and SEMOSportZone.com, and should be a good one up there in Columbia. Scott County Central going for that 17th state championship. Unreal. So good luck to those Scott County Central Braves today, and we'll bring that one live to you right here on YHC and SEMOSportZone.com. And later on tonight, we're going to be on the road to Farmington for that girls Class 4 quarterfinal game, and that's between Dexter and Battle, and we'll bring that one live to you tonight at 6 o'clock from the Farmington Civic Center here on Channel 21 and SEMOSportZone.com. Should be a good one. Should be a Dexter victory. They're going to be highly favored in that game, so look forward to that game later on tonight here on Channel 21 and SEMOSportZone.com. Dexter versus Battle in that girls Class 4 quarterfinal. And those are the games that we're going to bring to you later on today. And it's, like I said, only 1 week remaining. Next Saturday we'll end the basketball season as we have the Classes 4 and 5 Final Fours next Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And after next Saturday, the basketball season's over and moving on into the spring sports. So the last week to go, and it's going to be very exciting. We've got a few more teams still remaining. Scott County Central going for that state championship today in Class 1, and for Classes 4 and 5, the girls, Dexter girls there in Class 4, and the Jackson boys there in Class 5. So hopefully we can get those teams to the Final Four next week. And we're going to take a break and be back with a good little lighthearted video for you for all the ping pong fans out there, and we're going to try to just mix it up, bring a little change of pace here on the round table. We'll be back with that coming up.
It's the small things in life that you tend to appreciate. The quality of care at SEMO Health Network is no different. They focus on the small details with healthcare that make you feel good, so you can get back to enjoying the small things in no time. They have so many ways to take care of you with 8 locations serving rural communities in need of medical care, including dental facilities and an in-house laboratory.
You'll feel good about this. SEMO Health Network.
What is your emergency? Need assistance at County Road 61 and Highway 9. Help is on its way.
Clear! There's a better way to jumpstart your soil back to health. Apply Endzone to protect and increase nitrogen efficiency without killing bacteria. Apply Prevent to increase phosphorus availability and reduce fixation. Better yet, use them both to get more from your fertilizer investment and see higher potential yields. Ag Explorer, your prescription for healthy soil.
And now let's have a little change of pace, a little lighthearted video to bring to you here on the round table. And if you're like me, ping pong lover out there, you'll certainly appreciate this video we've got for you. And these are the top 10 shots of the World Tennis Circuit, or World Table Tennis Circuit for 2013. And we got quite a video here for you for all these ping pong shots of 2013. So let's take a look.
Is short no matter what, and that leads to these high-risk shots which sometimes miss. Will you look at that, Don? Bounced twice on the table. Excellent touch from Leah Rakovac.
Actually goes round the net, I think, here. Let's have a look. Yep, doesn't go over the net, comes around the net.
And as you see, there's some good fun to take a look at, and it's pretty amazing what they can pull off with those paddles. Yeah, it's just fun to watch every now and then. And it's an Olympic sport. You can even watch it in the Summer Olympics and catch that amazing stuff like that. It's just unbelievable what they can pull off. And just wanted to bring a little lighthearted video. And we had our good friend Tommy Jacobs out there say, "What? No Forrest Gump?" But hey, we didn't see him in there. Yeah, he's retired and laying up there in Greenbow, Alabama, I guess. But just to remind you quickly again what we've got coming up today, big day for us here at YHC, bringing you a lot of content when it comes to high school basketball. Boys Class 1 State Championship today, Scott County Central versus Meadville, and that is at 12:50, right around 1 o'clock today. We'll bring that one live to you right here on YHC. And also later on tonight, 6 o'clock, the girls' Class 4 quarterfinals, Dexter versus Battle. We'll bring that one live to you from the Farmington Civic Center. And that's at 6 o'clock tonight. Kevin Bishop and Ed Gargis will bring you that game tonight from Farmington. So be sure to tune in for those games if you want to catch some great high school basketball today. And this is our last game tonight for us here at YHC that we're going to do and produce. So been quite a few games. I didn't count up how many games we did this year, but I would venture to say we did about probably 55 to 60 basketball broadcasts this year, and quite an effort that takes, especially a lot of help it takes across December, January, February, and even halfway through March here. So certainly another great season in the books after today here for us at YHC. So hopefully you all enjoyed all the broadcasts this year, and got a couple more to go for today. But after today, we're done for this year. We will broadcast more games from the state Final Four, but of course we're not up there for those. We just basically broadcast the broadcast that they put out up there in Columbia. So we look forward to seeing you back with us later on today for that here on YHC for that Class 1 state championship and the girls Class 4 quarterfinal tonight. And until then, have yourself a great weekend. We'll see you right back here next week on the Roundtable. Take care.